Hello, welcome to Math Learners Uganda. Today we want to look at the inverse, how to get the inverse of matrices. But before we can begin, don't forget to subscribe to this Math Learners Uganda channel so that you can get more and more of this content. The inverse of a matrix, for example, if you're given matrix A, you write it as 8 power negative 1. This means this one means the inverse of A. So if you're given a matrix A equals to 2, 4, 3, 2, how can you get its inverse? It is 2, 4, 3, 2. So the inverse of this matrix is given by the formula. It is given by the formula that A inverse equals to A adjoint or adjoint of A divided by the determinant of A. So the inverse of a matrix, any matrix is given by the adjoint of the matrix over its determinant. So how do we get the adjoint of a matrix? So the adjoint of a matrix is you get to pair the elements diagonally. So the leading diagonal, you change the position, and then the minor, you change the signs. So when you change the positions, you get the adjoint as 2. Of course, 2, even if we change 2, it remains the same. So when we change the signs, the sign of 4, we get -4. The sign of 3, you get -3. Meanwhile, 2 remains the same. So you change the positions, or you interchange the positions, and then here you change the sign. So you get 2, -4, -3, 2. How about the determinant of that particular matrix? We looked at how to get the determinant of a matrix. So determinant of matrix A, you create 2 brackets and you subtract the brackets. Meanwhile, in this bracket, the first bracket, you put the 2 times 2. You put the 2 times 2. So you get 2 times 2. And then in the other bracket, you put 3 times 4. So here you put 3 times 4. This will now give you the determinant as 4 minus 4 minus 12, which is the same as -8. So the determinant is -8. What about the adjoint? The adjoint is 2, -4, -3, 2. So you now write your inverse as A inverse equals to 2, -4, -3, 2 divided by the determinant divided by -8. So you can go on and divide each element by -8. You go and divide each element by -8. That will give us A inverse equals to 2 over -8, 2 over -8, then -4 over -8, then -3 over -8, and then 2 over -8. You can simplify this more. So you have A inverse equals to but here is 1 over -1 over 4. Here is 1 over 2. And then you remain with the 3 over 8 here. Then negative 1 over 4 is your inverse. Let us look at another example. Example 2. If we want to find the inverse of P, given that P is 1, 2, 1, 4, how do we get the P inverse or the inverse of P? Remember that to get the inverse of a matrix, it is given by a formula. It is given by the formula that P inverse equals to the adjoint of P over the determinant of P. So you get the adjoint by interchanging the positions. So this will be the adjoint of P. When you interchange the positions, you'll have 4 up, and then 1 here. Then when you change the signs of these two also, you end up with the negative 2 and negative 1. So 4, negative 2, negative 1, 1 is the adjoint. What about the determinant? Let me first remove the negative that I had put. So the determinant will be that of P, which will be, you create 2 brackets and you subtract the brackets, so that you have 1 times 4 here, and then 1 times 2, and then 1 times 2 in the other bracket, 1 times 2. This will give you 4 minus 2, which is the same as 2. So the determinant of this matrix is 2. Meanwhile, the adjoint is 4, negative 2, and negative 1, 1. So you write your P inverse as 4, negative 2, as 4, negative 2, negative 1, 1. Then you divide it by the determinant over 2. So you divide each element now by you divide each element now by 2. So this will give you P inverse equals to 4 over 2 negative 2 over 2 negative 1 over 2 and then 1 over 2. So you can simplify this more. This will now give you 2 negative 1 over 2, then 1 over 2. This is the inverse of P. So to conclude, for you to get the determinant, to get the inverse of a matrix, simply divide its adjoint by the determinant of that particular matrix. You can begin by getting the determinant of the matrix and then the adjoint later.